All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Hat Creek Interior Studios, where you don't have to own a ranch to live like you do with great Western furniture. You need to get a hold of them at Hat Creek Interiors. Corey Flanagan, our man out there, he's awesome. They're awesome. HatCreek.us. They ship anywhere in the U.S. and probably beyond. And then check out their showroom here in Lubbock. Amazing furniture. Glad to have the studios be the Hat Creek Studios, man. It's pretty cool. All right, so today is what, Wednesday? I've been operating at any given moment today. I thought it was Thursday. A couple of times I was still on Tuesday. Yet here we are on Wednesday. That means What If Wednesday. So we got your What If topic. What Texas Tech can learn. The dire warning signs from Oklahoma State to other schools, including Texas Tech, and through 4 games, 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's your Texas Tech football player of the year MVP? All right, that ought to be enough. If you want to talk about other stuff, you jump in on the United Supermarkets chat line tonight and every night and let us know what you're thinking, whether you're on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Glad you're out there. Hit share, invite people in. Maybe you're on our Facebook page like James. Look at James right there. Thumbs up by James, the early arrival, the OG. One of the OGs, knows what thumbs up means. He's on Facebook. You can get on the Facebook page, watch Facebook Live, get your comments in on the United Supermarkets chat line, or on our YouTube channel. We want 1,000 subscribers by the Houston game. Why not? But you guys have to sign up. You guys have to share. You guys have to promote. You guys have to grow it. It comes from you organically on YouTube. So everybody who watches this, even if you don't watch on YouTube, just go sign up and subscribe. That's cool. Drives the numbers. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. All right, let's do it in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You start your day there every day. We got your question of the day. We got your Raiderland hot links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. World famous beef jerky and jerky? Yes. Do they handle all your meat processing? Yes. Can they sew you a ribeye? Yes. Do you need to go there? Yes. Do they ship anywhere? Yes. So go find them online for Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post and tell them we said, hey. That's what we talk about around here, the power of 5. If every night 5 people hit the Facebook pages and the social media feeds of our great sponsors, like, say, Shropshire Insurance of Texas, big enough for the entire state, independent, based right here in Lubbock, Texas. Jeff Shropshire and his crew can take care of you. So maybe you go over there, or maybe it's Ninja Pest Control on their website. Ninjas hate pests more than I realized. It should not be Ninja Pest Control. It should be ninjaskillpest.com. You get the idea. They want to stop them before they get in. They do great treatments outside, which is really good. And then, of course, on the inside, which is when they get inside, that's really when you pay attention and you go, I need the Ninja Pest Control. Check them out. Go to their website. So, yeah, the Power 5, if everybody goes there every day to our sponsors, 5 people, and say, thanks for being a part of Raiderland. You guys are awesome. You make it happen. All right, jump in, get your comments going. Let's have some fun tonight. What are we going to do? Where are we going to start? What Tech can learn from Oklahoma State, the dire warning emanating forth out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. The dire warning to schools like Texas Tech and others, or maybe it's going to be the MVP through 4 games. Or the What If Wednesday question. Up to you. And we got a lot of other things going off, you know. We got the Rangers losing, what is it now, 8 straight? In sad news out of Loyola, Chicago today, Sister Jean, 106 years old, still with us, but retiring from her daily duties, and she will no longer be the team chaplain. Hate to see that. Hope she's around for the tournament. I would love to see Texas Tech play Loyola, Chicago in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Beat them, but she's there. All right, let's get it going tonight. You guys know what to do. Jump in on that United Supermarkets chat line. The show is as good as you are. The show is as good as your comments and questions. Me, myself, I'm merely a conduit and sometimes a weak one of that to your comments, questions, thoughts, discussions, and otherwise. Jeff is on our YouTube channel, Right Nights Raiderland. I know you gave us thumbs up. I know you shared it. Skylar Gilhoward, he's so good they had to give him 3 names. So disruptive on D, which has been a big key so far. So that's the early MVP through 4 games, which, as I said on social media earlier, for the first time in 20 some odd years, maybe longer, it's not just automatically, oh, yeah, what's the quarterback's name? No knock against Baron Morton, but it's kind of nice to see that you can have a discussion on both sides of the ball. Raider Red 25. ESPN piss off because Tech won. Yeah, they kind of missed that on the predictions on the little morning show they do. What is that? The little game day show or something? Still going? Lee Corso gone? They still doing it? James, Tech has donors willing to change with the times. Oklahoma State only had Pickett. So what he's responding to is the lesson that Texas Tech can learn from what's transpired the last couple of years at Oklahoma State within the football program. Mike Gundy, a team that played in the Big 12 title game in 2023. That's not long ago. The Cliffs Notes version that I want Texas Tech fans to understand is you better be more than Cody Campbell and Dustin Womble, Shaggy, Fuller, some other. You better be more than that, because if Texas Tech fans get complacent and think that they're going to carry the water and that Cody Campbell's going to make it happen, you don't have to do anything, you will at some point find yourself in the Oklahoma State position. I'm not saying they're broke and their AD is saying, yeah, we got all the NIL, we're fine. Really, are you? Because it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it in basketball. Doesn't look like it in football. Doesn't look like it. So either you weren't fine, you don't have the money, or you were too dumb to figure out how to utilize it, and you have the money. But I'm thinking you probably don't have as much money as you want people to think in Stillwater. But you once did, and that's the deal. The T. Boone built the Olympic Village, built the facilities, upgraded Gallagher-Iba, which I hated the upgrade. Hated the upgrade at Gallagher-Iba. I loved it at about 7,900, 8,000 seats. It was cramped. It was awful. But truly, I say to you this, from a media broadcaster standpoint, from press row to the nearest bathroom, one of the best in the Big 12. Truly. But yeah, so T-Boone did all this, and then T-Boone died. The lesson that Texas Tech needs to take away from this is you can't rely solely on just a few donors. That if they don't grow this at least a mile wide and an inch deep, if you can't even do that, things will change. Now, I heard some people saying that, price of oil or whatever on everything else, they don't understand how Cody Campbell has made his money. He doesn't make his money by drilling for oil. He makes his money by buying land that people want to drill oil on. Smart move. But still, economics change. People get older. Things change. The lesson to Texas Tech from Oklahoma State right now is you cannot just rely on a few people or one person. You cannot get complacent. And you must have, and this is what Texas Tech has right now with the current landscape. Dr. Skuvenik, Kirby Hocutt, Joey McGuire, McCaslin, Krista Gerlich, and now, I believe, Tim Tadlock. They understand and accept the reality of what you have to do to win now. I don't know that that was necessarily the case at Oklahoma State, particularly regarding their head football coach. And if you have somebody in your employ anymore that doesn't and is not in alignment with what has to happen to win, you must get rid of them. And they did. Give us your thoughts on that. Through 4 games, Texas Tech's MVP Player of the Year. What if Wednesday? What if Kent Hance is never Chancellor at Texas Tech? Texas Tech has donors, James says, willing to change with the times. Oklahoma State only had Pickens. Charlie just says, wreck them. Wreck what? Chris, watching the Tech volleyball game, the real double T looks beautiful on the USA court. I have not seen it in person. I've only seen it on video. I'm fascinated to see. For those who don't know, they have taken it United Supermarkets Arena. The mid-court logo is now no longer that big state of Texas thing and everything else. It says it in our name. Everybody knows we're from Texas. It's the original, real double T. Only concern, I was worried some pictures if the scarlet of the double T matched the scarlet on the rest of the court. Hell, I don't care. They put it on there. Grant McCaslin, he knows the power of the real double T. Certainly Krista Kirkland Gerlich understands the power of the real double T. Love it. Bring it back. I think football has been slow to do it because you have a lot of monetary fiduciary interest tied up in that 3D double T that you would have to unwind. I hope they unwind it. But Chris, we'd love it. JC, are we sure Oklahoma State failed to learn lessons from Tech? Been running master class a few years. Yeah. Okay, so it's the other way around. In the copycat university, they couldn't. The one thing that's really good, JC, right there. Hold on a second. You get it. Product placement. There we go. Product placement. Get yours in the Raiderland shop. The one thing they couldn't copy, and they stole everything else from guns up to a horse and you name it. And Dirk West drew the original whatever Oklahoma State did, that they couldn't figure out how to monetize effectively. Very good. His name is Jeff. He's on the YouTube channel as well. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Everybody sign up for the YouTube channel. I want 1,000. Y'all can make this happen. Yeah, that'd be really cool. If y'all make this happen by the Houston game, y'all are awesome. What we learned from Oklahoma State, we better build something sustainable before Cody's money drives up. There's that word again, sustainable. And we like it. It needs to be sustainable. Now, granted, Oklahoma State got caught at a bad time when their wealthy benefactor succumbed to this mortal coil and shuffled off it. But everybody does. And you nail it right there. It's got to be sustainable, which is why I say it can't just be Cody Campbell and Dustin Womble and another 5 or 6 guys out there making it happen. That if Texas Tech doesn't capitalize on this and grow the roster of donors from the $50 to the $500 to the $5,000, ain't going to matter at the end of the day. It won't, you know. I think Gundy's attitude towards NIL probably alienated a lot of the potential donors. He alienated a lot of the potential donors. If you believe what you read, and I do, from people I trust around Oklahoma State, he didn't like the current landscape. Jay Wright didn't like it in college basketball, quit. Dabo Swinney doesn't like it. Looks like he's quit on Clemson. More importantly, the players hear that. And when the players see a coach who's not bought in, then why did they believe he's got their back trying to help them make money? But yes, you alienate the donors. I'll say this right now. I think Texas Tech baseball has struggled with that over the last couple of years, that there were a lot of people, right or wrong, fair or unfair, that weren't sure if Tim Tadlock was completely committed to the era of NIL, transfer portal, not just getting great high school players. Tim Tadlock built College World Series teams on bringing in guys out of high school. The Youngs. Yeah, I mean, we can go through it, right? We all get it. But there was I think a thought process over the last 3 seasons. Is he really committed to this? Well, the word now is that he's really committed to this. I hope so. I know he likes his job. And this is the reality. And that's why I say the other part of this is that everybody has to accept the reality of college sports right now in your athletic department. And that wasn't happening at Oklahoma State, I don't believe. From the AD to the coaches to everybody, if you don't like it, you got to get out. You got to go away. You got to go somewhere else. All right, go to an NIA program, drop down to Division 2 or 3, whatever you got to do. If you don't accept the reality, and this would be advice I would give to a young person beginning a career. If you don't like the reality of the career, of the profession, if you don't like it, you need to do something else. You'll never be happy. If you think you can tilt at windmills, and if you think you can change the reality, you can't. So either embrace it or do something else. He's on YouTube. He's Red Raider 25. Ads on Redmond choosing Texas. Thoughts on Kadrian Redmond. Is that the offensive lineman or defensive lineman? I lose track on the recruiting stuff. Pretty sure that's one of the linemen that was being rumored as winnowing Texas Tech down. Maybe it was an On3 report. Help me out on that. P.S. Respect to Gundy. How many coaches do you see coaching at college 20 plus years? I'm going to miss him. I told a former Texas Tech football player today, we're about the same age. I said, man, in a not a weird way, but I'm going to miss Gundy. I'm going to miss guys like Gundy being in. He made it interesting. He made it fun. He was good. He elevated the program. Going to miss him being around. Chris. Hey, Chris. Facebook, people. Ryan Knight's Raiderland on Facebook. Don't cost nothing. All of our platforms are free. You know why they're free? Because of people like Hat Creek Interiors in Lubbock. hatcreek.us. They're on Facebook. Go tell them thanks. Ninja Pest Control. Shropshire Insurance of Texas. United Supermarkets. Anybody who enjoys this broadcast, go over to their social media feeds and just say, hey, thanks for being a part of Raiderland. We appreciate it. Never going to charge. As long as we're doing this, never going to charge. Okay? Not going to do it. Why? Because we have such a great audience, a wonderful audience, that people want to advertise. And if you want to, by the way, hit us up on social media, Twitter, or otherwise. Say, hey, I'd love to advertise my business with you. We can make it happen. Jacob Rodriguez, MVP. 4 games, you're MVP. Told a friend of mine the other night, if Jacob Rodriguez were a running back with the same level of performance in the storyline, why fly on the Apache helicopter? Heisman Trophy candidate. Linebacker? No. Yeah, we can't have that. We can't do that. James, in the long term, would yearly $100 donations be better than the few big donations? No. In the long term, you need more big donations and more $100 donations. You have to have them both. It has to be all of the above. But it can't be. My worry is that people will sit back and say, I can't give much. But dude, look at Cody Campbell, man. He's got $800 bajillion. And it kills your underneath funding. You've got to have the funding. They need to be focused more on the $100 donation than the $100 million donation right now. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that's going on at Texas Tech. Anybody watching out there, we get monitored all the time. Good grief. I feel bad for the intern that has to watch our show every night, write down stuff. What did Hyatt say? What do we want to respond to or not respond? I'm not saying that you're not doing that, Red Raider Club in Texas Tech. I am saying that it is massively important, more important now, to capitalize on this. And James, you make a great point here, because I believe this. I believe the $100 donator, the $500 donator, the $5,000 donator, the $10,000 donator looks at the landscape now and says, my money does more than it's ever done. That in the past, I could give $5,000, and what the hell was it going to do? The SEC teams are buying recruits, whatever you want to, that we can't catch up, that the playing field was not level. That I think more donors now, and we saw this with the big donations at Kansas and some other places around the country. that I think a lot of people are waking up as donors to their school and going, my money has a bigger impact now than it's ever had. Even if I'm a small business owner and I got, $5,000 that I want to spend on advertising, well, now I can spend it on a Tech baseball player or a Lady Raider basketball player. You get the idea. And it has a huge impact. But that in the past, I used to throw that into the kitty there in the Red Raider Club, and it just disappeared. Not saying they misused it, not saying that it was bad, just that it didn't matter. I think now it matters more directly, James. I think more people feel like when they write a $100 donation to Texas Tech athletics, you're getting something out of it. I truly believe that. All right, you guys need to hit share, invite people in. We got about another 10 minutes tonight. Through 4 games, who is your Texas Tech football MVP? The lessons Tech should learn from Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy and what's happened. What if Wednesday? What if Kent Hance is never hired as chancellor? And then anything else on your mind? That's what we do around here. We have great conversations. We continue it in the morning, by the way. Thursday, underrated, rated right, and overrated. Expanding the donor base, great point. Also, with universities starting to pitch in, watch the enrollment numbers and subsequent viewership. 42,272, the number of enrolled students at Texas Tech. By the way, that goes back to Kent Hance and his stated goal in the 2000s, late 2000s, 40,000, which I scoffed at the time. And by the way, I could still argue against. I could tell you that I think Texas Tech has too many students today. But beside the point, the athletic department is the window to the university. Well, sometimes it is. Chris, if Hance never becomes chancellor, there isn't this hyper focus back in the early 2000s of Tech staying wedded to UT. Very good point. That really manifests itself in 2010, 2011, the dalliances with the schools in the Big 12 and the Pac-12 at the time, Pac-12, and that merger and UT spiking that merger and Tech and Oklahoma State ready to go, UT no, and you got to stay wedded to UT. I would agree that Hance has in that era of administrators, 90s, 2000s, that, oh my gosh, we have to stay with UT. What if we can't survive without them? And I would give you, if you go back and look in the record books, like pre-2005 or whatever, or anything, every other game that was the highest attended game at Jones Stadium was Texas or A&M as the opponent. It was a mind virus that I think hopefully Tech is overcoming, because since A&M left and Texas left, and life seems pretty good. You finally grew up, Texas Tech. Congratulations. And I think I agree with you there that was a mind virus that Hance and others had about you've got to stay wedded to UT. Red says yes. I don't know what the question is, but I agree. Maybe a Ryder Cup primer tomorrow. The strategy of format, especially on this course, is fascinating. Bethpage Black, great. The first major was the first major, the one in 0102, U.S. Open. They played the PGA there. It's a Muni, by the way. You guys can go play it if you want to. Euros are favored. Euros should be favored. They brought, 11 out of 12 back, I think, from the last go-around 2 years ago. U.S. seems kind of fragmented. I mean, go USA, but we'll see. JC, he won't, but Gundy needs to be behind a mic yesterday. Hyatt starter kit. We'll see if we can get him on. This is crazy to say. I actually have the ability to get communication to Mike Gundy Don't ask me why, and I'm not going to reveal why. I don't know if he would come on this show, but Gundy Unleashed would be beautiful. The brand, James says, the brand tech has now started with Hance. He saw the future. And yeah, that's that dichotomy of the UT thing, but also planning Texas Tech, 40,000 students, growing, all these things. You know? Red 25. My dad graduated from Tech in 62. You know what's really cool? My dad graduated from Texas Tech in 1962. Told me if you ever go to College Station, make sure you wear a face mask so you don't smell all that. Yeah, there you go. I mean, Red 25. Well, I don't know if Red 25 means you graduated in 25 or what, but yeah. Oh no, your granddad. Sorry, I misread that. Is it granddad? Dad. Okay, dad. Sorry. Very small font on what I'm reading when I'm talking to you guys. Law dog. Hey, law. Hey, law dog. Law don't go around here. Sabby. Yeah, winter to the king. Shut up, Ike. Rodriguez, Wichita Falls Rider, Lubbock should be the destination for all great players from the Falls in Wichita. It's a win West Texas first. And that was another great slogan of Matt Wells that never came to fruition, along with so many things. But yeah, there might only be 5 or 6 guys that can play high-level college football in West Texas, however we define it, the borders of West Texas every year. You got to get them. And if you got to take a guy who's marginal to get another guy later, you do that. The biggest change right now, though, is the reduction in the number of high school players you recruit versus the number of transfer players. As long as the rules are in place, I think we will flip back a little bit towards a more high school heavy than transfer heavy recruiting class every year. We'll see. But if I can get a full grown man to come here who's been eating on somebody else's budget for the last couple of years versus taking a chance on a 17-year-old Wichita Falls Rider, you know where I'm going to go. And that's just the reality of the situation. Will Hammond, MVP. It ain't Will, it's Wills. Kick ball, get check. Kick ball, comma, get check. Jeff, 4M, watch the Utah, 4 a.m., I assume. Watch Tech Utah. Largest audience for 11 a.m. game Saturday. It was at over 4 million. Okay, 4 million. I get what you're saying now. Yeah, 4 million. There were 3 games, I think, ahead of it. Most of them in a better window. But yeah, that's a good number. It was the highest watched Fox sporting event of the weekend. It's what you would have wanted. And so I think 6.7 million was the highest over the weekend. Was that Miami? See, I think 6.7 was the highest total for, I mean, 2 million's 2 million. But you're playing poker in the same poker room right now with those numbers. That was a good number. Chris, you probably are selling out all the home games, so the mind virus is being eradicated. We hope so. We're trying to. Put Gundy on the TNT Big 12 show. Sign me up for that, Chris. He's got to be out there. You know? My dad never went to Tech. Live in Sapulpa, Oklahoma. I have been through Sapulpa. I've been through Sapulpa. Covering basketball in the Big 12. You drive through different places, different ways to get to Oklahoma City. I have been to Sapulpa. Or through Sapulpa. Good to have you on the broadcast, though. Good to have you in the audience. Would Oklahoma State spit nails if Gundy first public interview was with Tech via you? Get it done. No, and it's not gonna. He's not going to do that. And we're hearing things today that, they were like, hey, we can ride this out. We can do this. And he said, no, fire me now. I don't know. I hate when it ends this way because it truly does remind me of the end of Gerald Myers' tenure at Texas Tech. A great coach for your school who won championships, who elevated a program, who took it to great heights, and that it ended badly when the era of coaching changed. I just keep looking at the last 5 years of Gerald Myers and the last few years of Mike Gundy, and I see the same thing. And hopefully for the Oklahoma State people, they'll be able to celebrate Gundy in the coming years. I mean that. I'm not being funny. Because with Gerald Myers, I mean, he went from like being in charge of hazardous waste materials and red blazer jackets to all of a sudden the athletic director at Texas Tech in like a year. It was crazy how all that came together in 96, 97. He almost gets me killed in Dallas at the Southwest Conference basketball tournament one year in a rent car because all of a sudden he remembered, I got to buy lotto tickets. Gerald, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. OSU won't make Gundy the AD. Never say never. You never know. You never know. All right. We're going to wrap it up for tonight. Want you guys to do the Power of Five. 5 of you folks go out there tonight. Tell our great sponsors like Hat Creek Interiors, United Supermarkets, Shropshire Insurance of Texas, Ninja Pest Control. Tell them thanks for supporting. That goes a long way. Then invite your friends in. We're going to post this on the website, theraiderland.com, here in a little bit, and we're going to share it on our social media. They're on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter, and you can share it again that way. Share and share again. Tomorrow, over, underrated, right, Thursday, whatever else we come up with. There are no open dates in Raiderland. Just because Tech ain't playing doesn't mean we ain't playing. We're having a lot of fun. You guys are the best audience out there. I appreciate you so much. I truly do. All right? Pray for rain in West Texas, but nothing that's going to string out the cotton. And we'll see you tomorrow at theraiderland.com.